And preparing for that open house, going there 45 minutes ahead of
Yeah.
your start time,
Yeah.
passing out some brochures and
Right.
inviting the people to come over. It's great. And then the other thing that we have found, solicit for that feedback, because that's going to help your seller know where we are from a consumer perspective.
Right.
What are people seeing from an exterior, interior perspective?
I love that.
Also,
Yeah.
you know, and then you sort of pass them a thank you. It could be thanks for popping by, a
That's right.
popcorn with a little business card.
Yeah.
But you're getting that feedback, that survey at the
That's
same
amazing.
time.
Yeah, that's so smart because, you know, why didn't you have interest in the house?
Yeah.
I mean, what was it that you weren't loving, right?
Yeah.
Or, you know, what did you love, right?
Absolutely.
You know? And then you can
And it's
accentuate
5
that.
questions. You know, people are busy. Everybody is so busy, but they can take a moment and answer 5 questions where it's 1 through 5. Just circle, and you have an opportunity to give additional comments.
That's great. Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin Dubuc,
David Nguyen.
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in any market. Today, David, we've got a pretty special guest, and she's your guest. So I'm going to let you do the honors, brother.
She is my special guest. Her name is Kalani Hooker. She is a broker owner of Berkshire Hathaway. Reason why she's so special to my heart is because she's from my hometown of Mesquite. That's where her office is. So
That's awesome.
I'll let her take it away.
Yeah, Kalani, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you.
Where are you from originally?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, we're honored.
Actually was born in Denver, Colorado. I have my principal office in Mesquite.
Very cool.
I've been in real estate since 2004. I've been the broker since 2014.
That's awesome.
And I'm excited to be here with you guys today to share a little bit about my success.
We're so excited to hear it. Real quick, you touched on Denver, Colorado. You know, it's funny, we talked about Denver earlier. You ever heard of a place called Casa Bonita?
Casa Bonita? No, I haven't.
I brought it up because we were literally having lunch earlier and it popped up. And John, our videographer, used to live in Denver as well. So
Oh, wow.
you guys have something in common. So how long have you been here in Dallas?
Grade school. My parents moved to Texas, you know, in my younger years, and I'm matriculated through the school system, college, everything, married. So I'm a native Texan,
this is
I feel.
it. This is home for you. Yeah, your roots.
For sure.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So you got out of school and jumped straight into real estate?
Actually, my background is network. I have an IT background. I am a dual career person. I've worked in corporate America for close to 30 years. I've been in real estate going on 20 years now, and I've just had a passion and wanted to create an additional source of income. But
great.
I'm passionate about helping people.
I love that. I love that. And so you kicked the doors in, and you said 2004.
Excuse me.
2004, licensed in real estate in 2006, and I've been the broker since 2014.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Where'd you get your start?
I actually started as a processor. You don't know this, David.
I know.
actually started
On our
as a
side of the
processor,
business.
doing a little stacking files, and I noticed that I was starting to acquire investment properties, my husband and I, and people were asking me for advice, and I'm like, hey, I'm not licensed, I'm not a realtor, but I saw the need.
That's right.
There's misinformation out there.
No
There's
education.
lack of education, and after I made the transition into going to real estate school, it's just I've never looked back. It's been an awesome career path.
That's
Awesome.
amazing. So you kind of kicked in the door with your entrepreneur side and said, hey, you know, we've got the savvy business mind to know out, and let's start buying some investment properties.
Absolutely.
I work for a mortgage company. I know how this works, right?
And you know, I didn't know how much I didn't know until I became a licensed realtor.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have my passion that I have for new buyers or even individuals buying a second home is just to engage with them, educating them along the way. And then I like to tell my clients, this is a collaboration.
Yeah.
I'm here to suggest and provide you information, the analysis, the statistics that you're looking for.
That's right.
But this is a collaboration. You know, we have a goal to focus on, and we take those tasks to get to the end goal.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So got in for 2006, get your license. And how did you transition to running your own brokerage?
Great question, and I tell you, it was the best opportunity. One of my partners was the broker at that time.
Okay.
And just being given an opportunity from running an office, engaging with the agents, providing sort of an overall governance.
Right.
I was presented with an opportunity for ownership as well as moving into that broker role.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
That's fantastic. And so what's that team look like today?
We have 3 office locations. Our principal office is in Mesquite, have about 39 agents. That's a combination of part-time and full-time. But I tell you what, there is no such thing, in my opinion, of being part-time. You
Not at all.
have to be available to your clients, and that's evenings, that's weekends. But I will say, I talk a lot to my agents about balance. There is a balance.
That work-life balance. You've got to have it. And you're right, that is tough in this industry on both the agent side and on the lending side, right?
Absolutely.
Because we have a high demand. Consumers want a home. They want to be guided through that process.
Absolutely.
They need to know that when they have questions, they're going to be answered. And sometimes that means you got to pick up the phone a little bit later in the evening, or maybe a little working on the weekends, right? A lot of working on the weekends. But you're 100% correct. Family always has to come first. We actually probably touch on this on every show because all great agents, right? When you're working with like-minded, like-hearted people, we all have a lot in common. And one of those things is family is important.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's our number one core value is family. And that's what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Is you've got to have that time with your family because otherwise, what are we doing all this for? Right? Yeah.
Keeps the focus.
So there's a good work-life balance there, but there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what's that, so what's that team look like? You said 39 people, 3 different locations, right?
Yes.
How do you keep that under control? You got to have some processes in there, right?
Absolutely. And I'm always looking to tweak. I have a coach. I have individuals who are pouring into me to help me with guiding and leading a team. We have a lot of senior agents, individuals who have been with us for a number of years. So we have the ability to shadow and provide support, sort of a buddy, accountability support for agents coming
partners.
in. But what I have found to be most successful, and I share this with agents, you're embarking on a career, but this is your business.
That's right.
So you have to feed your business.
That's
So
right.
for me, what I do with my agents every week, there's a sales meeting. Every Thursday, 12 o'clock, there's some content, in some capacity.
Education for the team.
Being presented. But I provide coaching and mentoring myself.
Yeah.
The unique offering that we have with our brokerage is I have 3 partners who are all active in the field.
That's great.
And one partner is bilingual, another partner has 30 plus years experience, and we are able, the unique offering that we bring to a new agent or just an agent in general is over 80 years of experience between the
fantastic.
3 of us.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
That's great. And that's so important. And you touched on something. You said that I coach and mentor, but you also get coached.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's so important. We talk about this a lot because we're also coached. We're members of the Mortgage Marketing Animals and the Freedom Club. I actually coached a lot of the team members. I coached David as well as many other people on the team. And it is so important to make sure that you're holding those meetings, holding each other accountable, making sure that there's new education weekly and daily, right? And then meeting with those people individually to make sure that they have the right tools to create success.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
David, you look like you wanted to say something, brother.
No, I'm just digesting all in. Me and Kalani talk every single week, and I love it. It's every time we talk, she opens up a little bit more. I open up a little bit more.
That's
awesome. It's just our podcast is Real Estate Success Partners.
It is.
We say it all the time. I look forward to talking to Kalani because I actually like you, Kalani.
I like you as well, and I want to acknowledge that your persistent is how we connected because I told David, hey, I have top lenders I deal with.
That's right.
They answer my calls. I've nurtured this relationship. It's reciprocal business. David said, well, give me a shot. I want to get there. And so I respect that and I like that because it's what I talk to the agents about. You have to ask for the business.
You do.
You have to ask for the business. And then, keep calling.
Yep.
I won't say annoying, but
I tell you what to answer.
but keep calling until you get a firm, hey, I'm not looking at this time, or you know what, just keep sending me the the information on the market changes, and I'll let you know when I'm ready to engage. And that's all you really want.
That's right.
That's a warm handoff and a warm engagement to, hey, I'll talk to you in 2 weeks, or call them back. You just
So
don't
you're
want
saying
to
there's a chance.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you know what? We went from a no to we've done business. We have a couple of transactions going.
Yep. That's
and
great.
So,
Yep.
so it's really she invited me out to her branch. I met probably a quarter of her agents, and we'll talk to the rest of them. Back to the success partners. One of the things our coaches teach us is try to do business with like-minded and like-hearted
right.
person.
Absolutely.
The money will come. But if you do business
Surround
with people
yourself with the right people.
with the right people. Kalani, if you call me at 9 o'clock at night or put 911, I'm picking up the phone because I don't mind. I would think vice versa. You know what? I don't do business with people I don't want to pick up the phone at 9 o'clock at night with.
Understand.
And so, you know what? Where other people in the last 18 months are struggling because of what's going on with the market, I just had one of my best months last month. Why? Because I surround myself with people like you.
I love it. Love it.
Successful people surround themselves with successful
Absolutely.
people, and they find success together, right? And that goes back to the title of the show, Real Estate Success Partners, right? We like to bring on successful people because at the same time, we want to educate. We want to educate the consumers out there. We want to educate other agents out
Correct.
there, especially the ones that are struggling because this is a different market, right? And a lot of them go, man, I don't really know what to do right now. Well, you know what? I bet Kalani knows what to do.
Well, I tell you what, I definitely know what it is required for some buyers that are not quite ready to pull the trigger.
Right.
But I have to keep encouraging them to look at the positive side of home ownership.
That's right.
And not focus so much on the interest rate.
100%.
Because let's just get it out there. There's no more 2 and 3, 4% interest rates.
That was fantasy land.
Yeah, that was totally fantasy land. And I was sharing with the buyer recently, listen, I had a 7.5%, and I was jumping
right.
around saying, good credit here.
That's it.
I'm
That's
thinking
right.
I'm really doing something. So oftentimes when I'm met with apprehension about, the interest rate's too high, it has affected some buyers because,
for qualification purposes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But does it make sense for you to still stay on the path for home ownership? Absolutely.
100%.
Because right now you're paying 100% interest on that apartment or that condo or that townhome. So why not create something that you can pass on to, your kids, God forbid if something happens to you.
Generational wealth.
Generational wealth, absolutely. But in the interim, you also have the mortgage interest you're able to write off. And becoming a homeowner, that is one of the top achievements, most Americans have.
Well, we touch on this all the time because I think a lot of people get paralyzed by the higher interest rates, right?
Yes.
And it puts us in a little bit of a mortgage purgatory, right? Because the homeowners that have homes, they've got rates in the 3s, and they're going, why would I get out of this rate, right?
Exactly.
But what's funny, and what we're finding, Kalani, is we've got homeowners out there that have rates in the 3s, but they don't love their house, right?
True.
They want to be out of it, but they go, but I can't get out because the rate's high. And this is one of the things that we've been educating people on. And this is a little bit of a pro tip, right? So at the end of the day, if you have a low mortgage interest rate, right, but you have a home that's gained a lot of equity, which most people have seen that, 10, 20% in the previous couple of years, which was unbelievable, but it happened, right? What has happened with a lot of people right now with the inflation? They've also accumulated debt. Right? So what happens here? Well, let's say that you own a home, and let's say, I don't know, I'm just going to throw some practical things out there. Let's say the house is, you own it for $300. It's worth $500. Right? And you're interested in the home, and it would maybe be $600 to purchase that home, right? So you go out there, and now you've accumulated $40,000 in credit card debt, okay? So you go out there, you sell the house, you take your $500K, right? Now you've got an extra $200,000. You put a portion of that down to purchase the house that you actually want because you don't love your home anymore. You need to get out of this home. It doesn't fit you. There's something that it's missing, right? You take the difference of that, you put that on the credit card debt, right? So that you pay that balance down, which evens out the interest rate because now the payment's really not going up to a large degree, right? And then what ends up happening? Well, we know at some point the market will shift, will come down. It's not going back to 3s. We're not going to see that again. But what you are going to see is you're going to see it come back down. That's when you refinance, right?
Absolutely.
And here's the best part. You beat the market because what's going on right now with inventory?
I tell you what, I was looking at this prior to coming over, and I can tell you average days on the market now, it's about 58 days. So homes are sitting on the market a lot longer, but you hit the nail on the head. There are buyers who took what was available.
That's
They
right.
have the lower interest rate, but the home really does not meet their needs.
That's correct.
And, we were in a pretty unique time where we had limited inventory. We had multiple bids on homes.
right.
I'm here to tell you guys, I was cringing on my luxury buyers. I literally wrote an offer 100K over list price.
Yeah.
But I had done my due diligence in that I knew the home would most likely appraise. I came within 5K of it. So I look like I'm, big gladiator here
you,
for my
you know
buyers.
it all, right?
But I tell you, never would my suggestion have been to purchase a home in a negative equity situation.
That's right.
Just because you got this low interest rate and you're relocating and you need your family in something,
That's it.
but different times.
It is different times. So what ends up happening, right? So inventory is okay right now. So you can go out and actually buy the house that you want
Correct.
at a normal price, right? You're not paying over for it. Some cases, there's still a few places, right? But for the most part, you're buying at list, right?
Right.
Maybe sometimes even getting a little bit of a break.
Absolutely.
But what happens when the rates come back down? All the buyers
point.
jump back into the market.
Absolutely.
Home prices,
Absolutely.
then we start in a bidding war again. You don't get
Absolutely.
the house that you want. And
It comes
you
in
get a little bit
waves.
better interest rate, but you paid more for it, so are you really getting a better interest rate?
Yeah.
You're not.
Right.
So
You're
that's
not.
what we talk about when we talk about educating borrowers, right?
Absolutely.
So let's go back to
Absolutely.
your team and what you're educating your team to do right now. So you guys have a tremendous success. There are other agents on the sidelines that aren't, and some of them are looking for answers, and some of them are looking for another home. Let's be frank, right? What are you educating your agents to do to have that great success right now?
Honestly, one of the things I focus on is rapport. You have to create a trusting relationship.
100%.
You have to create a trusting relationship and know that that buyer is open to hearing what you're presenting, or they're investigating for themselves what's being presented. So oftentimes it may require me to call up David or, to engage with them so they're hearing from a lending perspective
that's right.
what their options are, not just what I'm saying as far as purchasing that piece of real estate.
Right.
But for my agents, every day you should be prospecting.
That's right.
Every day, because everyone is not going to be ready right now, but prospecting everywhere you go, creating those relationships, going to the new builds, going, just being out where consumers are and not being a silent agent.
That's
you
right.
need to let people,
Hear your
I know
voice.
this is a podcast, but I have a badge on. It's a conversational piece. When
That's right.
you're walking into a place, you're like, oh, you're in real estate. So, just really don't become a silent agent. A lot of agents were a little, disheartened by interest rates increasing and that large pipeline of buyers that they had a year ago.
It's easy to buy into the chaos, right?
Exactly.
It's easy to buy into that chaos.
Absolutely.
So would you say the phone is the friend, right? You guys making some phone calls over there?
Working the phone is your friend. Make those calls. I actually told my agents, call, text, and email.
That's right.
Call, text, and email, because until you get a no, there's still, should be an
Well,
opportunity
and people
to
want to
engage.
communicate the way they want to communicate today,
Exactly.
right? So if you just pick up the phone and call, they may not communicate that way. They may
Exactly.
like text message.
Right.
They might like the email.
Right.
You got to hit them from all directions, because at the end of the day, you may just be hitting the wrong signal, and they're 100% interested. You think that they're not, and it's just because you're not communicating with them the way they want to be communicated with.
Absolutely correct. And another thing that we have, a unique tool within my brokerage is we have the ability for a buyer, as long as we have a general idea, number of bedrooms, what area of the community, our school's important, just a little bit of a profile, we can actually create buyer activity reports,
great.
and market activity reports.
Absolutely.
So they see what's going on. It's not just all me blabbering.
Yeah,
You know
what's funny? We do something, we call it calling our pals, right? So we've got our pre-approved and looking borrowers, and one of the things that we do every week on Thursdays, anybody that we've gotten that pre-approved and looking status, we reach out to the borrowers every week, and we just give them a phone call, check in on you, see how things are going. Hey, by the way, have you thought about getting back into the market? What do you got going on out there? Hey, have you looked at any new homes? Hey, let us connect you with Kalani, right?
Yeah.
And let's make sure that you're still out there looking, because remember, you wanted that new backyard, right? You wanted to be able to barbecue back there. It's summertime's here. This is the right time for it. And that's what you're talking about with your reports, is you're saying, hey, the house you want is here.
It's here.
It's here, and I'm going to make sure that you see it, because I'm doing what I do, and this is what you're teaching your team how to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a home run. That's a home run.
Another, positive thing that I've gotten great feedback from the agents on is for those homes that are on the market, continue to hold those open houses.
Yeah.
Continue to be out there. If you have 4 people that stop by, maybe 2 of them are unrepresented. There's an opportunity right there to tap into, new business.
So when you hold an open house, is there any secret to that, Ryan, on how to have a perfect open house?
One of my agents had, I won't say a perfect open house, but you play into what's happening.
That's
4th
right.
of July was a great opportunity.
Yeah.
It was the middle of the week. A lot of people chose not to have a full-fledged barbecue.
Right.
But my agent who held the house open did hot dogs and chips. It was great. Neighbors came. So we're like, you can pick your own neighbor.
That's
you guys,
awesome.
are you sure you don't know anybody that is interested in
let's move somebody in.
Exactly. So I'm talking the same questions I ask a seller, I want to ask the neighbor. What keeps you here? What do you like about this neighborhood?
They sell it for you.
Yeah, what's the attraction?
Yeah.
Who do you know that's looking, for this price point? Who would you like to be your neighbor? You're in the driver's seat to pick your own neighbor.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
they're-
it.
And by the way, how's that barbecue?
Exactly. No, we had quite a few people come by for 2 hot dogs and send some kids, We
Yeah.
couldn't really tap into what the kids were, asking them for referrals.
Right.
The adults that came, it was great. It was great. And preparing for that open house, going there 45 minutes ahead of your start time,
Yeah.
passing out some brochures and
Right.
inviting the people to come over. It's great. And then the other thing that we have found, solicit for that feedback, because that's going to help your seller know where we are from a consumer perspective.
Right.
What are people seeing from an exterior, interior perspective?
I love that.
Also,
Yeah.
and then you sort of pass them a thank you. It could be thanks for popping by, a
right.
popcorn with a little business card.
Yeah.
But you're getting that feedback, that survey at the
That's
same
amazing.
time.
Yeah, that's so smart because, why didn't you have interest in the house?
Yeah.
I mean, what was it that you weren't loving, right?
Yeah.
Or, what did you love, right?
Absolutely.
And then you can
And it's
accentuate
5
that.
questions. People are busy. Everybody is so busy, but they
Mm-hmm.
can take a moment and answer 5 questions where it's 1 through 5. Just circle, and you have an opportunity to give additional comments.
great.
But it's a way, again, for communication back to your sellers.
Yeah, no, I love that. So some pro tips on how to have a great open house,
house.
right? Yeah, and that's awesome. And just another one of the things that you and your team bring to the table is
Absolutely.
innovative ideas. So I'm a new agent and I'm looking to make a move, and I come start with your team. What's that look like, right? What is that wow factor of, man, this was such a great choice, right?
Well, first of all, you get me.
Of course. Well, we
You
already
know?
know. No, we know. That's what we had you here, right?
So I literally break down tools, technology, and training,
Yeah.
and I give insight into what does that onboarding process look like.
Yeah.
Anyone coming through the door, whether it's day 0 or 10 years of experience, there's a basic onboarding that I actually go through with the agents.
That's awesome.
After we complete, depending on the level or the years of service that agent may have, then the training is catered. What I present next for next steps, it's catered to that individual.
That's perfect.
Some people are motivated and hungry and they're just ready to get out there and hit the pavement, but making sure that they have the basics, they understand our tools, they know what access is available, making sure we set up a partnership, because within the brokerage, I call it a Berkshire buddy. So it's like an accountability partner. And that way you feel connected immediately. For these 39 people, they're not always agents. They're not always in the office. Some are in the field, some
Yeah.
work from home. So whether you've physically met the person or not, you have a name, number, email. Call and introduce yourself.
It's a home run.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a home
5
run.
questions, and I provide them the questions because I want to make the conversation as organic as possible.
Absolutely.
So I give them a starting point and just checking in. Hey, how are things going? What's working for you?
That's
Where are
great.
you struggling?
Yeah.
Because those things that they're struggling with, I'm also, when I'm doing that monthly or quarterly touch
Right.
point, those are training opportunities for me.
Absolutely it
You
is.
know, to
Absolutely
bring
it
that to
is.
the fold.
We do something similar with our team. Ours is Call Stars, and we meet from 9 to 11, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and now Friday. And we hop on, we do some coaching, and then we start reaching out and making our phone calls.
Yeah.
And we do it together as a team. And the reason we do it that way is because we're sharing moments in the background where teams chatting and talking about the successes that we're having. When we get done, we also get to talk about the hurdles and the stresses and
Sure.
the things that that other people in the office need to know. And that's our accountability partners. We're doing it all together because you may have one person on that's doing phenomenal and somebody else who's kind of feeling low. And when you get to bring them up together, right?
Absolutely.
And go, hey, look, hey, let's try this. Hey, let's switch this up. Hey, let's do this and let's tweak this. You know, that's what you're doing with the accountability partners. And then we also do biweekly coaching where I sit down and I lay out a plan with my team the same way that you do. And I say, hey, where do you want to take this? And then how are we going to get there? And then we check in every 2 weeks and we give them updates on exactly that's going to happen. So it sounds like, again, you talk about like-minded, like-hearted.
Absolutely.
And where success comes from. It's funny because there's 6 degrees of separation when it comes to this stuff. The ones that are having great success, we're doing a lot of the same stuff, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Absolutely.
So you've got all this stuff going on with business. You guys are super busy. You've got 39 agents and 3 different offices that you're managing. What do you do in your spare time?
You know what? I'm a traveler. I love to travel and I love to read. But my work or prospecting doesn't stop because my location changed.
Yeah.
So I was recently in Anguilla. I've already got contacts in Anguilla.
That's
I
awesome.
took the ferry to St. Martin. I met people there. So I'm always trying to connect.
Networking.
Yes, to connect with them because they have relatives. Those people
Yeah,
that you're
that's
meeting
right.
in these other countries, they have relatives. So send them my way. If it's Dallas, Fort Worth, I can take care
So
of
you
it.
like to travel in your free time.
I do.
That's
I
but
do.
you're always working, but you love the and you know what? We share that passion. David just got back from vacation. I'm actually leaving on Monday. My videographer John's coming with me. So
Okay.
we'll be doing some work there. We're taking some cameras and we're gonna do some stuff while we're out
Absolutely.
there, just like you're talking about, right?
Absolutely.
So I love that though. I absolutely love that. Now she touched on something, David. Do you want to ask the question? We ask it every time. Do you want to ask her the question?
Yeah, man. I'll start with you've had a long career in real estate. I want the one moment, not 2 or 3, but the one moment that is most special in your heart in real estate.
It would have to be the one moment when I realized that this is my path. I have a servant heart, and I'm thinking immediately of this grandmother who had worked for the Postal Service 30 plus years.
Yeah.
She had a home maybe 20 years ago, and she knew buying now, it would be her forever home. She's like, I'm not looking to transition. Well, we got her in that home, and it was just like, I mean, Christmas time, the feeling that you get when you have someone who didn't think that they would achieve home ownership,
right.
and you're handing them the keys, figuratively and literally, it's an amazing time.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. And I just remember that most recent transaction being phenomenal. Just the gratitude that was expressed. I'm trying to give her a little bit of a closing gift, as a thank you for allowing me to, represent her. And she's giving me a gift. I'm like, no. So we're sort of going back and forth. And I was like, your referrals obviously would mean a lot. But the best time to ask for a review is at closing.
Yeah.
Not after a day or two or
right.
week or two.
Yeah, in the
right
moment.
then, exactly.
the
While you're
moment.
in the moment.
Yeah.
So that most recently was a great experience because it just solidified that I'm doing this for the right reason. You can't always lead with money.
No.
You can't lead with money because
The money comes, right?
the money will come for sure.
If you're doing it for the right reasons,
Absolutely.
the money comes. Well, and you touched on something, and I love this. You said, I've got 39 agents in 3 offices. My greatest moment is helping one person move into their home. That's special.
Yeah.
That's special because you know what it shows?
You care.
You're carrying hard.
Absolutely.
You're carrying hard.
Absolutely.
And that's why you have great success. And that's one thing that the person that's in it for a quick buck that wants to make money fast, sure, they'll make some money.
Sure.
But it's not going to last a long time.
Absolutely.
But the people doing it for the reasons you're doing it, it's a lifetime of successes and joys and happiness.
I appreciate that question because I throw that to my agents from time to time, saying, "What's your why? Why are you doing this?"
There's, it's funny. We have a lot of brokers, agents, and I know you've done some luxury homes, some big properties.
Yeah.
Some of our brokers. We ask that question a lot, probably more than we should. And it's
But
always
it's too good of a question.
It's always this singular transaction that it's not a large transaction. I'm gonna guess this was a smaller house, a grandmother.
Yes.
And of all the transactions you've done, that stands out the most.
Absolutely.
We had another guy here that's done $1 million transaction, and his most special moment was doing exact same thing.
Yep.
Small house, 100,000, and it's just it makes this is the reason why I'm
gets us
really
emotional.
It's hard to
Yeah.
explain. It's like
It
even
is.
though it's a lower priced home, the gratitude
Oh.
is unremarkable. I mean, it is just it's
Well,
unbelievable.
you're a real estate
It's-
superhero.
Yeah, exactly. And my higher end buyers, $1 million, $2 million, it's like it's what they expect.
Yeah, that's right.
And
And
what
they're
they
very demanding. It's what they expect, and you have to come with your A game to stay at that level.
Oh, you do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But-
Well, and what they don't understand is that the gift that they gave you is much more. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I mean, think
yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah. I said, remarkable. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. Not unremarkable. I've had some unremarkable
Oh,
situations.
we all have.
That one was remarkable.
We'll save that for the next podcast.
Yes, yes.
What's the worst moment in your real
Oh,
estate
my
career?
gosh.
We might have to start asking that one,
Oh,
David.
I like that one, Devin. I like that one a lot.
Hey, I can tell you guys stories.
Oh.
I'll bet.
We're in real estate. There's always a bad moment, guys.
Guys, I can tell you story after story. I mean, from accessing a home and a goat being there, and going in the backyard and
You're
it's
not
a
talking about Michael Jordan either, are you? She's talking about a goat.
a literal goat. I mean, oh my gosh, I should tell buyers. Just be ready for anything
Yeah.
because you're with me. It happens
Surprise!
to me. It happens to me.
Yeah, I didn't plan this. That goat's not supposed to be
I
there.
didn't put him
I'll
here.
show you the picture of this pig in the backyard. It's like,
Well, that happened.
absolutely.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, this has been fun, and
Yep.
we would love to keep you here all day, but I know you have homeowners to save, right? You're out there with
Yes,
that superhero cape going
Absolutely.
on, right? So, what's the thing we didn't ask you today that we should have?
Probably my recruiting efforts.
Let's talk about that.
I'm looking for individuals who are wanting to start in the real estate profession. I constantly am recruiting, primarily through the real estate school, but I also have a third outside source that are contacting agents who are signing up. And what I have found, I've shifted a little bit. Everything we pivot, right? We pivot.
right.
And I'm really finding that I really enjoy the dialogue with new agents because they don't have the
They're not
bad
jaded.
habits.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have the bad
They're
habits.
fresh. They're excited.
And you can
You
coach.
believe everything I'm saying? I love it.
Well, and you're coaching too.
Exactly.
You're coaching
Exactly.
too.
No, I love it. Their minds are open, and those individuals are more coachable. They're more engaging, and the eagerness there. And it's like I see myself in you. You can do this.
Well, you love to give back, and so when you can
Yeah.
take somebody and you can show them how to make themselves the most successful version of themselves, take them a place they didn't even realize they could accomplish.
Absolutely.
Right? That feels really good because, like you talked about before, and I feel the same way. I tell my team this all the time. I'm not worried about my money. My money will come. I want
Yep.
you to get rich. I want to see you and rich, not just in money,
Right.
In family, in quality of life, in everything that you're doing. Right?
It's a
I wanna see
compliment
that.
to you.
It
It's a
is.
compliment when
100%.
individuals come through the doors. Of course, I want them to stay forever, but attrition is something that happens in this industry quite a bit. Agents
does.
will go for whatever shiny
Oh yeah, shiny objects out
shiny
there.
objects over here. But when someone is really, and I get this from my partner, this is not my original thought. One of the things that I observed with Ruth Dower,
Yeah.
she was a training camp for agents, and a lot of those agents now have their own business.
That's amazing.
It's
amazing.
excellent. So
It's
that's
amazing,
a compliment to her.
because she was a part of all that.
Absolutely.
She helped them on that path to their
Yes,
success.
absolutely.
It's a beautiful thing. Well, if a new agent is looking for a home, or if a borrower is looking for a home, first off, what communities do you serve? What areas are you in?
My service areas are Forney, Rockwall, Sunnyvale. Because of the office locations, we're 20 miles, 25 miles in every direction.
That's great.
of Dallas.
So you can hit the DFW.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And with great representation, guys, by the way. So if they're looking to find you, right, if we want to get a new agent in that office who needs that coaching, that leadership from Kalani, right, or if we've got a borrower that's just looking for the right place to get a great process and experience and be guided throughout with amazing education, how do we find you, Kalani?
My contact number is 214-435-7911.
Run that back one more time.
214-435-7911.
Fantastic. And David, anything you'd like to say before we tie this thing off?
No, I'm so glad you came.
Me too.
Our audience got a chance to see the Kalani that I get to talk to every week.
Thanks
It's a
for the
beautiful
invite.
thing.
Thank
It's a
you.
beautiful thing.
Pleasure being here.
Oh, pleasure to have you here. Literally, it's humbled to have you here.
Thank you.
Amazing stuff. So, well, guys, literally, if you need that help, really amazing opportunity here with Kalani. You're going to be glad that you made that phone call. So, but if you want to find us, we're your real estate success partners. I'm Devin Dubuc.
I'm David Nguyen.
And you can find us at realestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's realestatesuccesspartner.com. You can also listen to us on iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, I think iTunes, I don't know, all the major listening platforms. And if you want to watch the podcast, which you should, you want to check us out on YouTube. We're on the Dubuc team as well as Real Estate Success Partner. And we'd love for you to subscribe. More importantly, we want those 5-star reviews. So until next time, we'll see you then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.